Hey everybody, what's going on out there today? Okay, so I am just going to do some everyday glam. We're just going to get ready. How about that? Sound good to y'all? And I am Jamie, and I am a Southern gal with purple hair, and I am from a very small town in Arkansas and currently live in Alabama. So, you know, I got all the southernness up in me. All right, so the first thing you always want to do is you want to prime your face. And I use Younique's Touch Glorious Primer. And basically you want to prime your face because it fills in to put your foundation on, helping you get that flawless look. And so you just smooth it on all over. It's kind of like painting a wall, right? So when you go to paint a wall like a dark color or, you know, a bright color, you're going to prime it first, right? And the reason you're going to do that is so you can only put one or two coats on and it goes on smoothly and saturated and flawlessly. So that's why you want to do that. And you want to let it dry. So we're going to let it dry for just a couple minutes. The reason you want to let it dry is because if you don't, then it's not going to be able to fully do its job. And while I'm waiting for it to dry, I am going to use, get my, what's this called? Foundation ready. So this foundation is a mineral-based foundation and it separates, as you can see in there, kind of like the mustard in your refrigerator. So you just want to make sure that you are prepping it. And what you want to do, it has a dropper in it. So you want to clear out that dropper and mix it up so that you don't just get like water or just foundation. So we're going to mix it up really, really good. And I do this and then I squeeze it, the little dropper a few times just to make sure it's all good and in there. Okay. I'm just checking my computer while I'm waiting for my face to dry. So if you guys have any questions or comments that order any of the products that you see that I use today, I'm going to post my website on here and feel free to check out my website and, you know, order anything you want, right? Okay, so the way that I put my foundation on is I use this brush. I love this brush. It's a double-ended brush, and it just makes my foundation go on so smooth and flawlessly. I use this end of it, and I like to use a brush rather than like a blending bud or a sponge because one, a brush is going to use less product, and two, a blending bud for me takes like super long time to put on my foundation with. I do use the blending bud to do like my concealer, but and a sponge, like if you're using the same sponge over and over, it's going to harbor bacteria in it and create little bacteria babies on your face, which you don't want. Bacteria babies don't sound fun, do they? All right, so I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to take my foundation, and this color that I'm using is satin. And I'm going to just drop that foundation right on there. And I use about a dropper full, and that's it for my whole face. And then I like to distribute the product evenly over my face, and that just helps me get a nice even coverage. And then I just buff it in. And it goes on super flawlessly, super smooth. And this liquid foundation dries to a powdery finish. So it gives you that nice, smooth, satiny, velvety looking finish on your face. And this foundation is also buildable. So if you felt like you needed a little more coverage in a couple of spots, you could add additional. But for me, it gives me really good coverage with just this one coat. And, you know, gives me, again, that smooth, satiny, flawless finish that I love so much. And I just like to, you know, make sure I get it all nice and even and buffed out around and on my face. And again, that's why primer is so important because you don't need as much product. to get the coverage that you want. Just like with wall paint. I mean, like, really? That's what we're doing. We're painting our faces. So take a tip from the experts, right? And then I like to go in next with my concealer. So I do things backwards. Or, I mean, I just do things differently. So I know that some people will do their eyes first and then, or their eyeshadow and eye makeup first and then go in with the foundation. I just cannot do that. I've never been able to do that. And I'm not going to pretend like I can do that. So the next thing that I do like to do is I take my concealer, and this is in one shade lighter than my foundation called Velour, and I take an eyeshadow primer, and this is Unique's eyeshadow primer, and this is like our crack filler. It's like spackle for your face. So if you're over 40 or older than me and you don't have like super smooth skin under your eyes, because I've never had Botox or anything like that, I like to use the crack filler. So basically what that is you've got the concealer and the primer right there. And I'm going to take my concealer brush, wherever it is, right here, and I'm going to mix the two together on my hand to get a nice consistency. And then I'm going to put it on, and I like to do it in, of course, that V formation, just like that. I do put it on my eyes because it has that eyeshadow primer on it, so that'll help with my eyeshadow. And if you put it on in this V formation like this, it helps to conceal if you have bags and wrinkles and stuff like that under your eye. If you put it on just in this half moon right here, it would actually highlight the fact that you had bags and circles. So we don't want to highlight that, right? So I'm just going to get that on there, and I kind of let it kind of heat up with my skin. It's kind of like baking, but not with powder. So I'm going to put a little bit right there. I put a little bit on my lips, just like so. And I do a little bit right in here, just a little bit, okay? And then I get my blending bud. I know I look pretty, don't I? You love that look? Maybe I'll just leave it like this and we'll set it. But I take my blending bud and I wet it with our setting spray. So I'm going to spray it down here. And I spray it pretty good and kind of, you know, get that setting spray in there so it's nice and damp. You can also dip it in water, you know, and get the excess water out. But I like using the setting spray because it helps set that concealer as well. And then I'm going to set my concealer with our Touch Behold setting powder, which is a translucent loose powder. I use the smaller end of my everything brush. I call it my everything brush. It's really our powder concealer brush, right? But I love that brush. It does everything for me. So then I just take and I start kind of dabbing. You don't want to rub because then you're going to rub the product off. I'm just dabbing it into my skin. Just like that. That's what, for me, y'all, a blending bud to put on my foundation with, would take me forever. I just don't have that kind of time. You know what I mean, people? And so I got to get my hair out of the way. And I do one eye at a time because I like to make sure it doesn't crease. So I'm going to take and just kind of do this eye, make sure it's like nice and set in there. And if you needed to add just a little bit more, that's another thing. A blending bud's going to take off a little bit of the product. So if you needed to add a little bit more, I still have some on my hand. I have quite a bit. And the good thing about this makeup is you use so little of everything that it lasts you forever. Sometimes I like to take my finger and just dab in, make sure we're getting it dabbed in right. And I like to make that area right in there, right in the corner of my eye, really bright. And we're going to like make sure that we don't have any, you know, little extras, lines or anything. We want to make sure everything's blended in well. And I'm just getting in that corner right there. Okay. And then I keep my eye closed, take my setting powder and set that concealer right there, just like so. That way it doesn't crease before I get my setting powder on. And right now, I'm just going to set right there on my concealer part because I'm going to go in and do a little cream contour here in just a second. And I take the flats out of my little blender and I'm kind of blending out that edge so that it's not a harsh edge. It's a workout. It's a workout for your arms. So we're just patting. And like I said, I like to take and just add just a little bit more right there so that I can get that little corner just well highlighted. And then I'm going to take my setting powder and set it. And I'm going to set this up here too. Okay. So we got our concealer on and nice and smooth finish. So the next thing I'm going to do is a cream contour. And I like to do both a cream and a powder. So I'm a little extra. Sorry, hate it if you don't like a little extra, but I am always a little extra. Y'all will find that out. Okay. So this is a cream foundation in a darker color. This one's called Suede. And so I just take my contour brush and I'm going to contour. And the reason that you want to contour after you do foundation is because when you put foundation on, it actually makes your face look two-dimensional, right? Because it takes all of the natural shadows and highlights out of your face. So that's why you want to contour, is to put all of that back. And then, of course, camouflage some areas. So like right now, we're going to make our face look super skinny, like we have been to the gym every day for a year or more. And I haven't. And then you're going to give yourself some of those cheekbones, you know, just like that. And then you're contouring under your chin. Get rid of that double chin. And I'm going to blend this out just a little bit. And then I contour under my bottom lip. So I just take the edge of that same brush and I just kind of go right under my lip. And what that's going to do is that's going to make your lip look puffy and bigger. Okay. And then I'm going to go down the edge of my nose. So that's all I'm doing is just kind of softly blending, but keeping that contour and that dimension in my face. So you can already kind of see how that brings that dimension back to your face. And again, it creates that like skinny look, that Kardashian look, right? That's what we all want to, we all want that Kardashian like contour. So that's what we're trying to do. But we are also, I am a contour, like love contour. So I'm going to go in with a powder contour next. All right. So I do take my brush and I just kind of swatch it off in my little swatcher. These things are great. You can get them on Amazon. They're just brush swatchers. They just have this little pad in them. And basically, like for eyeshadows and stuff, you just take, you know, if you want to switch eyeshadow colors, you're just going to swatch that color off. They're awesome. They're only like $5 or $6 on Amazon. Go get you one. So I'm just taking that off because I did that. But I'm going to go in again with my translucent powder. This one, same powder that I use for setting my under eye area. And I just kind of tap it off because you don't need a whole bunch of this. But I like setting with this because it doesn't change the color of your foundation or your contour. If you set with like a pressed powder or something like that, it would, you know, change the color of everything. And we work so hard to get color matched on our foundations and stuff, right? So why change the color of it? So I like to set everything because I like a more matte finish on my foundation, especially during the daytime. I mean, this foundation does dry to that powdery finish, so I guess you wouldn't have to, but I like to set it. All right, so next we are going to go in with that powder contour. And what I've been loving using is, this is our Mineral Loose concealer powder. And I'm going to use the color Frisky to contour with a powder. So I'm going to put some in the lid, and I'll show you the color real quick. So right there is the color. And I'm going to take my angled blusher brush, and I'm going to swatch it off real quick just to make sure I don't have anything on it from doing my makeup yesterday and last night. So I just dip it lightly in there, and I'm going to tap it off, and then I'm going to go into the lid and just kind of buff it around because it's super, super pigmented. So you don't need a bunch, right? See how pigmented that is? Like, I mean, barely tapping in it. So like I said, I like to do just a little extra powder contour. You could do just one. You don't have to do a cream and a powder, but I like to do both because you know me, I'm a little extra. Extra, extra, extra. That's a Southern way of saying extra. Extra. Okay. And then I am going to do a little bit right here, and then I'm going to show y'all a couple of tricks with contouring, okay? So I don't contour across the top of my forehead because I don't have a tall forehead. If you did, you just contour right across the top, and it makes it look shorter. I'm going to show you the same concept with my nose, though. And we're going to blend all this, so don't worry. Like, it's not going to stay this, like, crazy. All right, so I take an angled shadow brush, just like this, swatch it off, and I go into that powder very lightly, and I'm going to contour my nose. So you just want to go down the side of your nose, and the thinner the lighter spot is on the strip down your nose, the thinner your nose will look, right? So I kind of make it pretty thin. But I have a long nose, and I want it to look like a cute button nose. So I'm going to take that same powder, and I'm going to cut the tip of my nose off basically with that powder. And it's just camouflaging the fact that I have a long nose. And then you want to go all around the bottom of your nose, right? And maybe just a little bit there on the sides of your nostrils. And that makes it look like a cute little button nose. Isn't that cute? Just so cute. So then the next thing I do is I take this same brush. I'm going to swatch it off because I've got that blend, that translucent powder on there. I'm going to take my beachfront bronzer. This one's in Malibu. You could use this matte side as a contour, you know, if you wanted, instead of the powder that I use. I just like to use that powder. But I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to give myself some color, like I've been in the sun. And I just kind of go all around my face like that. And then we're going to blend. But I'm going to do my neck, because you want to make sure your neck and your chest and everything matches. Don't want to have this one color and this another color, right? All right, so you're going to take that same brush, and you're just going to kind of do circular motions. Go up your nose. Make sure you get everything blended in. And I just, like I said, do these kind of circular motions, go under my eye, and then you want to blend your neck. Okay. And if you feel like you blended too much of your contour out, just take this end of your brush like that, and you can kind of do that right there. Or you can go into a little bit more of that translucent powder if you want to, and pop that right back on there. And you're just, you know, just like a little bit, and kind of pop that line back in there if you wanted, and just kind of softly blend that. Or you could take your brush, no more product, and just kind of pop that line back in there. Just depending on what you like, how much contour you like. And then sometimes I just kind of clean up under my eyes just to make sure. that it's all still highlighted and beautimous. Okay, let's do some eyeballs. All right, so let me put that up. All right, so I'm probably, let's see what colors we want to do, girls and boys. There is my palette of most of my colors. So I will probably, let's do this. Let's move a couple around so y'all can see what I'm going to do. So I think I'm going to take these 4 colors right here. So I'm going to start with this lightest one, go to this one, then this one, and then the dark berry. This is called Timid. This one is Astute, right? Yep. I have to look sometimes. Okay, so Timid, I'm going to start with Astute, gingerly into the crease just a little bit. And this I like to use a matte color for. And the reason I like to use a matte color is because it helps the other colors blend, in my opinion. So I'm going to just pop that right on there on both eyes. And I know you can barely tell a difference because it's very similar to my skin color, but I like that lighter color right there. Just like that. How about that? And I forgot to brush out my eyebrows. I like to brush out my eyebrows. The reason I like to brush out my eyebrows is because it has all that powder and stuff in there. So I like to do that. Get that out of the way. And then let's see. I like to take this is my crease brush, okay? And I'm just going to swap. We're going to go into that kind of second darkest color, Astute. And these eyeshadows are super pigmented, so you don't need a lot of product to get the color consistency that you want. I mean, like very pigmented. And we're going to blend this. And I do take that color right there, that first color in my crease right under my eye. So you want to take it in your crease and right above your crease. Not up to your eyebrow, but right above your crease, okay? So that you can see that color, okay? And I say okay a lot. Okay, okay. So I'm just going in my crease and right above. And then I'm going to take it down in that V right there. And right under my eye. And then we're going to take our blending brush. And we're going to blend that just so that it becomes a really soft and smooth transition, okay? The next thing that I do before I go into the next color is I'm going to take my highlighter, and I like to take Benevolent. This is our pressed highlighters, and I'm going to take, this one is a like golden champagne-y color, just like that. And I am going to use, I like this brush. This brush does a lot for me. So this is like our angled shadow and sponge brush. And so I'm going to take the angled end, which is the same one I did my nose contour with. I'm going to take it right in that highlighter, and I'm going to go right under my eyebrow. And that's just going to give you that eye lift, okay? So let me tell you, ladies, I am saving y'all some money with just makeup. So let me explain myself. All right, so we did the nose contour, right? So that's a nose job with just makeup. We did the lip underneath contour. We're going to do a little bit of highlighter on top. So you've had lip fillers with just makeup. We did the contour of our face to make it look skinnier, right? So there's your lipo. We did underneath your chin so that we got rid of that double chin, so a little bit more lipo. And we just did an eye lift with just a little bit of highlighter. So when your husbands come to you and say, why are you spending so much money on makeup? This is crazy. All you have to say is, actually, I'm saving you money because I don't have to go to the plastic surgeon, right? And then he'll let you spend as much money on makeup as you want. All right, so I'm going to take this next color called Gingerly right there. swatch my brush off again. I love this swatcher, y'all. Seriously, you should go get one. All right, I'm going to take it and I'm going to go right here in the crease, but I'm not going to go all the way over to the corner right there, but I am going to go to this corner, and I'm just giving that a little bit of dimension in there, right? So we're going to do this side the same way. And I love this gingerly color. It is such a good, like, everyday color. And I'm going to take just a little bit of it under my eye. All right, so then I'm going to go in with my sponge tip of this brush, the one that has the angle on it. I'm going to go back into that lightest color, and I'm just going to make sure that that color is nice and defined. I like a defined eyelid. And then I'm going to go back into my highlighter from before. That's not the right. Wrong highlighter. That would be weird. No, not really. All right, so I'm going to go back into that same highlighter, same brush, and then I'm going to go right into the corners of my eyes. And what that does is that just brightens up that corner. So I go kind of right under, right in the corner, right there. So see how that eye looks brighter than this one? So that's all we're doing. Just brightening up those corners. Okay, and you could do this with a highlighter, like an eyeshadow, like the Optimistic, that's kind of in that champagne color. I just like the pressed highlighter because I use it on my cheeks and all that good stuff too. All right, so next I'm going to take my liner shader brush, and I'm going to go into that berry color called Fervent, and I'm going to smoke out like the corners and a line under my eyes. So this one's Fervent. I'm going to just take this part of my brush and really kind of make that area more smoky looking. So sometimes I like just pressing it on, depending on how much definition you want in there. And I like a little bit of definition. Then you could wipe it off and then just kind of smooth it out if you wanted. But I don't like to smooth too much because, you want that like definition between the colors. Fervent's like one of my favorite all-time eyeshadows. It's super good. Okay, so we got that smoky look going on right there. I'm going to take my blending brush and just lightly blend just kind of this edge out. And then I'm going to take the liner end of that brush and I'm going to go into that Fervent and I'm going to line right under my eye, just kind of halfway. Okay. Then I'm going to go back in with my concealer brush and clean that area up so that you can just kind of get that straighter line under there. And this is why some people choose to do their foundation after they do their eyeshadow. I just can't do that. Like, it's just not in my bones. I wish it was. I've tried it and I just can't get it right. Okay. All right. So next I do my eyebrows and then I come back and I do the eyeliner and the mascara. So let's do some eyebrows. All right. So I like to take my eyebrow pencil. This one is in medium and I just kind of outline my shape is what I do with the pencil. And then I'm going to go in with my brow palette and really fill it in. So I love this eyebrow pencil because it has such a fine tip on it. It mimics the hairs instead of looking like a pencil mark. And basically, like I said, I'm just getting that shape in there. I like these first few hairs to kind of stick straight up. and then go kind of over. So that's what I'm going to do with the pencil, is draw that in there. And then I like to make sure I get my arch where I want it. And I don't have to fill it all the way in because, like I said, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do that with the powders. I'm just kind of getting my shape first. And if there's any areas that I don't like have as much hair or need to fill in with the pencil, I can do that. Okay. And then I'm going to do the other side the same way. So it's kind of just outlining at the beginning here. Just kind of giving me my starting point and my end point and making sure my arch is on point. How about that? Okay, and a good rule of thumb, not a rule, but a general guideline is, because there are no rules in makeup, right? If you take your pencil and you put it right here against your nose, and that's about where your eyebrow should start. If you take it and angle it out to the outer corner of your pupil, that's where your arch should be. And then out to the outer corner of your eye, that's where it should stop. So we'll just check. So that's a good rule of thumb for you. It is not a rule, just a guideline, because you can do makeup however you want. It's your face. And do what makes you feel beautiful, right? All right, so then I'm going to take my Brow Artist palette. And this one is in light. I'm going to use these two brow powders, this colored wax, and this highlighter, okay? So I'm going to take my Brow Artist brush. It's a double-ended brush. We have lots of double-ended brushes, which I love. And this one, excuse me, I start with the angled end. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of our setting spray, because when you do that, it helps the powders kind of be creamier. So I start kind of midway down to fill in. I don't know why. I think that just helps me a little bit. And I kind of, like I said, just fill in where I had already drawn my pencil lines. And you could just do the brow pencil, right? You don't have to do this part, but I like to darken them up a little bit. But that's why I use the light palette instead of like the medium, because I feel like this gives me just enough darkness without being too dark. Okay. And then what I do is I go in with just the lightest color and I do the front part of my eyebrows. So it kind of gives you but not completely, that ombre look. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with just a little bit of that darkness, a little punch of wax, just to make sure my outer eyebrows or little hairs stay in place. Make sure that arch is on point. And then I do a little punch of wax right there in the beginning, just to make sure, like I said, those first few eyebrows stick up the way I want them to. And then the flat end, I take a little bit of that concealer left on my hand, and I'm going to clean it all up, make it super straight, because I don't always color inside the lines, right? Just ask my first grade teacher. Going to get just a little bit right there and right here at the front. Okay. And I think I took off too much right there at the front. And then I'm going to go in same side of the brush with a little bit of this highlight cream and go right back under my eye because where I put that concealer, I want to make sure it stays highlighted. Well, allergy season going on here in Alabama. I'm just kidding. I mean, it is allergy season. All right, so I swatched it off to get the wax off. I'm going to spray it again. Go back in with the powders. So I kind of do 1, 2, 1, 2. Go right there in the middle and start filling that bad boy in. And your eyebrows are supposed to be sisters, not twins. Mine are more like first cousins. They resemble each other, but probably just a similar family resemblance. Nothing sisterly about it, I don't think. I don't know why. My brows are just 2 different shapes. And this one over here is killing me because I can see that front part right there. Okay, so then I'm going to go in with just that lightest color here at the beginning and start filling that bad boy in. And I'm going to go in with dark and a little punch of wax to do my, like, that little area right there. Just to make sure that that arch stays up in place. I might do just a punch of wax right here in the beginning. Just a punch. Okay, and then we're going to take some of that concealer right there, just a tiny bit. And we're going to clean up. And I'm going to take a little bit of that highlighter. Okay, there we go. Eyebrows on point. All right, so now I'm going to do a little bit of blush, and then I'll go in with my eyeliner and my mascara. All right, so the blush that I love to use is this one. It's called Seductive. I just take a big blusher brush, tap right there 1 time, and you're going to see how pigmented this is. Watch. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? 1 tap is all I need. And then I do like this big blusher brush just to kind of blend, make sure everything is looking good. Okay. So that is all the blush that I use. I use more bronzer than I do blush, but those blushes are so pigmented like our eyeshadows that you just don't need much. So I'm just going to kind of blend just a little bit more right here in my eyes before I do my eyeshadow. I mean, my eyeshadow. Y'all, I am crazy. A little crazy. That's okay. I can admit it. Before I do my eyeliner. All right, so I take our pencil eyeliners because I can't use a liquid eyeliner by itself. I wish I could. I love the way it looks. But I do love these pencil eyeliners so very much. So I take both the brown and the black. And let me show you just with the black. These pencil eyeliners are so smooth and creamy. They go on super pigmented like that. And you can wet them. See that water running down my hand? Or setting spray. See how it doesn't smudge? It doesn't smear. It doesn't run. It's not going to come off. Look at that. And it's going to stay super pigmented. Is that not crazy? Like, I love these eyeliners so much. So I'm going to start with the Proper, which is our darkest brown. And we have, like, I don't know, 10 different colors. We have blues, we have greens, we have purples, we have gold, I have silver, white, you know, all of it in these pencil eyeliners. And they're awesome. All right, so I'm going to take the Proper. And I start at the outer corner of this eye for some reason because I'm backwards. And I go in and see how creamy and smooth. And I'm older, so I love a pencil eyeliner because I'm not coordinated enough to do a liquid eyeliner. But I want the pigment. So used to get the pigment in a pencil eyeliner, you'd have to like draw it on there. And it would pull at your eye, which of course creates wrinkles. Or if you got one that's creamy enough, it wouldn't stay in place. So that's why I love these so much. And I do a wing. I wing it out. And I like a thick eyeline. And I have big eyes, so my eyes can handle a thicker eyeliner. If you don't want, you don't have to do a thick one like I do. Or you don't have to do eyeliner at all. Okay. There is eye number 1. So let's do this eye, number 2. And I start in the corner of this eye and go out because, like I said, I'm backwards. I do everything backwards. It's a Southern thing. Okay. And then, like I said, I wing it out. Wing, wing. Okay. Then, this is the fun part. I take the black eyeliner, which we call Perfect. Let me sharpen it just a little bit. And I use it on my waterline under my eyelashes. And you can do this. So like I go right up under those lashes right there. And the reason I do that is because it makes your lashes look even that much longer. And you're not coloring on your eyeball. You're just doing right under that lash line. And you can do this with this eyeliner because it's not going to, you know, smudge or smear or run into your eyes. Just like that. There you go. So now, this is my favorite part. I am a mascara fanatic. I love this mascara. This is our Moodstruck Epic Mascara. It lengthens, it curls, it, separates. It makes your lashes look so good. So you want to twist in your tube, not pump, because if you pump, you're pumping air into your tube, which dries your mascara out. So you don't want to dry it out. So basically, I kind of start down here at the lash line, all the way down at the bottom and wiggle up. And that's just kind of separating each lash. And then sometimes I'll go on the back of my eyelashes just to get that, make sure that the fallout from your eyeshadow and all that stuff is gone. And then just brush up. And like I said, this stuff is going to lengthen. It's going to curl your lashes. It is going to make them fabulous. My nose is running from those allergies, y'all. Sorry. And then I'm a fanatic about these, you know, I'm a fanatic about a lot of things, but like I like to make sure my lashes are like evenly separated, evenly spaced, all the right length. I really like pay attention to these outer corner eyelashes. So you don't have to do that, right? It's just me. Just me being my extra self. Okay, look at that. Look at this. Look how long and curled that is. Isn't that crazy? Love it. So we're going to do the other eye. So start out, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Go on the back. And then just brush up. And my eyeshadow will make much more sense with my mascara on too. You just got to trust the process, girls. Like I said, I like to get these corner eyelashes nice and separated and lengthened. Matter of fact, let me look in my corner little magnifying mirror right there. Because I'm a little older, I can't see as well. Seriously, y'all, I cannot see as well as I used to. It is not. I used to have 20/20 vision. I could read any little writing on anything, and now I struggle. But getting older does not have to suck that bad, right? We just got to take it all in stride. All right, so I'm going to put one more coat of this mascara on each eye. Because 2 coats of this stuff is like heaven. Heaven. Try to keep my hair out of it and all that good stuff too. So much. Okay. So we're going to do one more coat on this eye. And then we're going to do our bottom lashes. Let's see, make sure this stuff gets separated right there. Separate. They're going to whether they want to or not, right? Y'all talk to your lashes? I do. You got to make them do what you want. It's kind of like talking to a plant to make it grow, right? Come on. Separate. There we go. Now y'all are working on the team with me. All right, before I put my one back in my tube, I do my bottom lashes. Because I don't need as much on my bottom lashes, I don't feel. And of course, I have to open my mouth. Make funny faces, all that good stuff while you're doing your bottom lashes. Is that just me? Nobody else? It's okay if it's just me. I'm okay with being unique. I'm okay with being the one and only. All right, so there is 2 coats of that mascara. Is that not crazy? But we're not going to stop there, are we? Because that's not the extra. So I'm going to take now our 3D Fiber Lash Mascara. It comes in 2 tubes. It comes in a tube with mascara and a tube of just fibers. So we're going to take that and put on top of the Epic. All right, so you want to take your mascara and you're just putting another coat of mascara on. And this is going to give the fibers something to stick to. So basically you're getting your lashes kind of wet to give those fibers in the other tube something to stick to. And it's just like putting little extensions on your eyelashes. Isn't that cool? So wait till you see the results of this. It is so cool. There we go. Had to make those eyelashes separate too. And I like to get these corner eyelashes good and saturated because I like them to have extra on them. All right. Then you want to go in with your fibers and just brush those bad boys on the tips. And I kind of go back and forth a couple of times and then just brush up. Okay, look at that. Look how much longer already. Isn't that crazy? And then I'm going to let that dry and go and do the other side. And then we're going to come back and do the mascara over that to seal them in, okay? So we're going to go do this side. So you're just going to put, like I said, just another, it's just like another coat of mascara on. We're just wetting those lashes to give these fibers something to stick to. And again, I like to get these corner lashes nice and wet because I like those to be a little extra. Okay, and then we're going to go right in with those fibers right on the tips. And then I just kind of brush up. And you just want to do this fiber part on the tips only because it's just putting little extensions on your lashes. And right now I'm just kind of separating them a little bit, making sure they're all little extensions where they're supposed to be. Want a couple more right in there. Just like that. Okay. I mean, that is crazy to me how long they get. All right, so now we're going to go back in with the mascara and seal those fibers on both sides. And you could repeat this step as many times as you want and get them as long as you freaking want, right? They could be like, I don't know, up to your eyebrows if you wanted. But I'm just sealing them on. So I'm just brushing the mascara back on. And I kind of do a little bit with my tip just to make sure they all stay nice and separated. And this doesn't get clumpy or flaky or anything like that. And I think the reason why it doesn't is because they keep the mascara separate from the fibers, which is genius, right? Like, duh. Sometimes I wonder who thinks up all this stuff because it's pretty amazing. Like I've tried other fiber mascaras before and always tend to get clumpy to me. And I think it's because it's all in the same tube, right? And I'm just making this one eyelash go exactly where I want it to. So I'm messing with it a little extra. There we go. Come on now, eyelash. Stay where I want you to. See? Got to talk to them. Okay. I mean, that is super crazy to me. Like super crazy how long they get. So let's seal this side on. And these will last, I mean, it's going to last you all day. They're not going to flake off and if you have oily skin, you know, and you're used to having like little black dots at the end of the day on your brow bone, this is not going to do that either. And like I said, if you wanted to repeat this process and get them even longer, you definitely could. Like I got a little bit on me, so we're going to brush that off. Like I got a little bit right here. And all I got to do is brush it like that. Take your little brush and brush your fibers away. And look at that. Look at how long. Is that not crazy, y'all? Just with mascara. Just mascara. That's it. I mean, I am impressed every day by it. And then sometimes, oh, look, I got a little bit extra right here. Sometimes I take my eyeliner and just kind of make sure it's winged out enough for these like super extra long eyelashes. And clean it up just a little bit. I mean, seriously, crazy long, right? Serious. Okay, so then we've just got lips left, guys. So let's do a little lippage. For daytime, I like to do kind of a softer or more nude look. So I think I'm going to take, oh, actually, I'm going to put on a little bit of our lip stain real quick because that, I feel like our lip stain helps keep my other lipstick on all day. Okay, and this lip stain is like a wood stain, okay? So it's not an opaque or anything like that, but it is going to stay on until you take it off, but you want to let it dry. So that's why I'm going to put it on while I'm looking for my other lipstick. I'm going to use Stellar, which is kind of a nude color, and I am going to use a little bit of Lucid over the top of it. And I am going to line my lips probably with Pouty, if I can find it. Or Plush. Where's my Plush? Plush. I'm going to use Plush because it's more nude. All right, so you just want to let that lip stain dry. So while I'm letting that dry for a second, I might go in with just a little bit more of that Fervent on my eyes and just punch that area up right there. Just to give myself a little bit more smokiness. I like a smoky eye. There we go. Just a little extra smoky. Smoky. All right. So now that my lip stain is dry, I'm going to go in with my Plush lip liner because I love my Plush. It's like the same color as my lips. But because I have older lips who haven't been plumped up or filled or anything like that, to get a nice smooth line, what I do is I bite down on them and kind of push them out to give myself a smooth line to line. Okay. Just like that. How about that? These Splash liquid lipsticks are amazing. But what you want to do with them is when you take it out, you want to wipe off that wand until you think you've wiped off almost all of it. And the reason you want to do that is because these are as super pigmented as everything else. And once you wipe it off, you actually still have enough product left on that wand to give yourself a full coat. And you can always dip the tip right back in there if you need a little extra. Just like that. And then I am going to go with just a little hint of Lucid lip gloss on the top of that. Just to give it a little shimmer. Just like that. How about that? So we are done. So thank you for staying with me and watching me and hanging out with me. And I always say this, no matter what video I'm doing on Facebook, YouTube, wherever, but I always want you to every day look in the mirror and tell yourself that you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are intelligent, and that God didn't make no junk. I don't care if you believe it or not, tell yourself that every day. And the reason I want you to do that is because one day you'll start believing it. And then I want you to go out into the world and give another woman a compliment. I don't care what it is. Tell her that she's beautiful. Tell her that she is intelligent. Tell her you admire her, that you think she's a great parent, that you think she has great style, that you love her purple hair, whatever it is, okay? And the reason I want you to do that is because you never know when that one encouraging word or one word of support from you might give that woman the just what she needed to get through her day, what she needed to overcome some obstacle in her life, or what she needed to make a life-changing decision. You just never know how you're going to affect that person's life for the better. And I think it's important for us to uplift, empower, and support each other. And I think that's what God put us here for. That's what this company Unique that I use, that I sell this makeup for, believes in. They believe in empowering, uplifting, and supporting women and encouraging them. And so I think that's what we should do for each other. So I love you all. I thank you all for watching, and y'all have a great, wonderful afternoon or day or night or whatever it is. And I hope you have a beautiful day, and thank you. Stay beautiful, stay lovely, stay encouraging, stay uplifted. Y'all have a great one. Mwah.